Hello, everybody. Sean Higgs coming at you here. It's the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. Wednesday, April the 2nd. It says the 26th up there. We're in time travel mode. Anyway, listen, we're going to talk about some Crown basketball tournament today. It's a Wednesday. It means I got Matt Fargo and Brian Bitler. You know we're going to touch on, maybe we'll hit some Major League Baseball. Who knows? NFL rule changes. What is this, overtime rule? Let's ban the tush. But we'll talk about some NFL. Why not? Why not some NFL in early April? But before we get to all that good stuff, hit the like, notification bells on, and subscribe to the YouTube channel so you know each and every day we come at you. College hoops for a few more days. NBA, Major League Baseball going to be stepping up to the plate here. And as we mentioned yesterday, Matt mentioned, he's got a little golf article up at our sponsor site, Gamblers World. Doug Upstone does the same with NBA Shoot the Rock. And he'll have Major League Baseball stuff. Again, this is the free pick side of things here, where we just want you to hit the like button and subscribe and put the notification bells on and leave a comment what you like on the game tonight. But if you want our best bets, our top plays, and all the goodies that go along with it, head on over to gamblersworld.net. Free picks, articles, shorties, premium picks, all covered there. Go get it. Daily passes, $69.99 are great. 3 738 packages, all guaranteed. Show your profit or we credit you back. What's there to say? There you go. Scrolling at the bottom in case you don't hear me. You can read what I'm saying. It's right there for you. Now, since that is out of the way, I want to jump right into the NFL here. So the Packers are like, let's ban the tush push. I'm not for banning tush pushes. We're going to start there, and then we'll move on to a couple other things here. But then we'll get into last night. I was just enamored by the NFL news. Brian, what do you think of this? Start with tush. I mean, you go tush push, the replay I could care about, but the tush push and the overtime rules, interesting. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think you could ban the tush push. It's been stopped. It's not like it's 100%. You saw a little bit of chinks in the Eagles' armor as far as running that goes last season, and really, I haven't liked the overtime in the NFL for years. I wish they'd go with the way the college does it because it's more exciting and, both teams get a good opportunity. But we definitely have to see how it turns out this season.
I mean, like I said, if the tush push, if guys were getting hurt, it'd be one thing. I guess the Packers are trying to say that it was kind of like the old days of like carrying guys and pulling people and stuff like that. You can't really do, but I don't think of it that way. I mean, you got a 6'3" guy, 6'4" guy kind of squeezes in a little spot. I don't know why there aren't more quarterback sneaks, and they had them before. They just executed pretty well. I don't know what the problem is. I'm a Cowboy guy. I don't care about the tush push. Fargo, tush push.
Yeah, I despise the Eagles. I always have my whole life. My whole life was being a Giants fan, but no, it's totally fine. If you can't stop them, that's on them.
Right.
And if you look at like a running back, in the middle of the field, he's not going down. His own offensive linemen are pushing forward sometimes for another 10 yards. They have to ban that too.
Yep.
It's the same thing. It's the same philosophy pretty much. So no, I think it's ridiculous. They won't even talk about it. They put it on the table. It'll be fine. And who else was bitching about it was Sean McDermott, and they use it every once in a while with Josh Allen. So that was a little shocking that he's against it, but he implements it every now and again. So I think it's going to stay. I think it's kind of a moot point. They tabled it, like I said. I think it'll go through and stay the same. I think anyways.
You had said just stop it, which I kind of want to go into the overtime rule. Right? Like I kind of like it, at the college. I mean, the old school college was nonstop. We just keep playing forever. Now it's 2-point conversions. I'm all for make a stop. I know we lost out and they changed the overtime rules because Mahomes didn't get a chance in overtime against Brady. We got to change these rules around or Josh Allen, whatever the case may be. Make a stop. Do you want – okay, the other team gets a ball. I understand that you kick a field goal and the other team doesn't even get a shot. All right. I think if you give up 7, I don't think you deserve a shot to get a chance to go back and tie it up. Your defense couldn't stop the guy. Forget holding him to 3 points. You let him march down the field and score a touchdown. No, you do not deserve a shot. No. No, I say no to 2 possessions. If the team scores a touchdown the first time they get it and just march down and say, no, you're not good enough.
But then you're letting the coin flip decide the game in some
Exactly.
cases because these both teams are tired, and you let the offense drive down the field and score. Yeah, they didn't stop them, but then the coin toss basically determined the winner. As long as both teams get one possession, then nobody can cry about it.
I guess I'm under the impression of the team that goes into overtime is the team whining because they gave up a game time field goal or a touchdown late to force overtime and then they lose in overtime. Like, you didn't do anything to make a stop. Like, make a stop and you're not worried about overtime. Make a stop in regulation. Do something. No, I don't hear whining. No, you didn't stop him. You didn't get the ball? Tackle the guy. Real simple. That's tackle the cat before he goes 10 yards. How hard is that, man? That's the name of the game. Tackle the guy.
Yeah, I hear you, but I'm with Brian. I'm with Brian. Like, you can't decide. This rule should have been put into place forever. You can't decide a game on a coin flip. I totally agree with that. And actually, your point about make a stop, sure, but it goes the other way. Like, both teams should be able to have the opportunity to get the ball. And as Brian just mentioned, these teams are tired. The defenses are tired. A lot of these defenses aren't very good anymore, so they're not going to make a stop. They can't make a stop, especially in extra time. So, I think each team, should get the opportunity. It's only 10 minutes. It's not going to affect the injuries, which was the main reason for them not doing it before. I think it's a good rule change. They start off obviously with the playoffs and now going to the regular season. I think it's good. I think it's good for the game.
Injuries. They have a terrible Thursday night game. They expand the season longer. And we're going to run back on Christmas again. So teams play on Sunday and again on Tuesday or Thursdays. Yeah. We're worried about player safety.
It's good for us because as far as capping games, we have more opportunity to put some stuff out there.
I don't mind the extended schedule. I want to go, but the point is with that is they're screaming player safety, and then you have short week games, and the games are terrible. They're terrible. I think we'd all be happy with the old school Sunday night, Monday night, and that's it. Let college do their crazy stuff during the week. They can do that. Because they could schedule their kind of stuff. You can't do that. If you're going to scream player safety, concussion protocol, this guy's got to sit. You can't run these guys out on 4 days rest. I don't want to hear that.
I agree. I agree.
Listen, more regular season games. You don't want to play preseason, bro. You see some of this crappy. I mean, you wonder why the quarterbacks are terrible and why you have 10 good quarterbacks maybe. Well, if they're not practicing, you can't have 2 a days. You get no rhythm with players. It's going to take you a bit to shake the rust off from not playing in a while. That's a whole nother discussion. But
the way the schedule fell last year, I think the Steelers played 3 games in a span of 13 days, I think it was, towards the end of the season. I mean, that's just completely unfair, with all these holiday games and, as you mentioned, just the regular Thursday games and Sunday, Monday. It's too much, especially late in the season when these guys are just worn out. You can't trot these players out 3 times in less than 2 weeks.
I mean, Brian, you know this. So you're a Philly guy. So the Eagles, much like Kansas City, they're going to be Sunday, Monday night kind of guys, and you're playing short weeks. That's why I was all over the Niners under last year because I'm like, they got short weeks and bad scheduling. They're playing rivals off of short weeks, and the other guy's sitting there waiting for them an extra day rest. It's bad scheduling spots. You're going to have that. You like that for your defending champs going to come in and have a terrible schedule like that because they're the champs. We're gonna play like Kansas City, like 3 games over Christmas, over 10 games, 10 days.
Yeah, I used to be a big fan of the Philadelphia Eagles. Now I'm just a fan of whoever I have on that given Sunday. But as far as being fair, it's just when you're a Super Bowl winner or one of the top teams, you're going to face that schedule challenge in the next season. So it's just part of the game.
And the last one with the dynamic kickoffs, they're gonna switch around the touchback so to get more people running the ball back. Well, isn't you wanted them to not run the ball back, which is why you moved the kickoff stuff, right? Isn't that what they player injury? So it's like, let's do these short kickoffs. Guys were taking fair catches or whatever nonsense, and now you want to switch it so there's less fair catches. How about you go back to what it was? Let the grown men who've been playing this their whole lives, who like hitting people, if they get hurt, they get hurt. That's why you play football. I mean, right? It's always pretty to go out and like tackle people. This is great. What are you doing? I'm gonna go out and grab somebody and pummel them into the ground. That's what these guys want to do. Why are they? I don't understand the switch. You wanted fair catches. Now they're trying to say no. We're going to pump it out to the 35-yard line now. Explain it. I don't know, Brian. Explain, how does that work?
Man, I don't even know what they're exactly thinking. You know, I wouldn't be opposed to just giving the team the ball at the 25-yard line and eliminating kicking altogether, but I guess you can't do that. The special teamers need a job. I just wish they go back to the way it was originally. Maybe we're just old school guys and that's how we like it. But to me, it made more sense.
Or just have the guys, have them run. Like move that kickoff line back a little further. Then I guess what is the thing that the guys are running down too fast?
Mm-hmm.
Is that what it is?
They changed the rule last year, right? So they set up the normal kickoff, but they can't run until the ball is caught, right, or the ball hits ground. Player safety, sure, which I thought was absurd, anyways. But now they're kind of taking it back where they don't want them to touch the backs, like you just mentioned. So it's kind of a point where they go one way one year, and now they're taking it back a little bit, but just making a mockery of it. Go back to the original way it was 2 years ago, problem solved, and get rid of the stupid onside kick thing where you have to tell the other team, "Oh, it's coming."
That would be my next thing. They don't address the onside kick where we have to tell you we're kicking an onside kick.
Hey, guess what, guys? Guess what's coming?
Even if they said, go to make it a 4th and 20 or something. Do something different. Or you want an onside kick? It's 4th and 20 from your own 35 or something, right? Or 30-yard line. Make it interesting. I don't know. If you want to, we're telling you where we're kicking it off to. Hi, we're going to do an onside kick. Get ready.
Yeah, that was one of the fun parts of the game, not knowing if the team was going to onside kick. It kind of takes away.
Remember the Super Bowl? Didn't?
Yeah.
He pulled it. What's his name? Payne pulled it off in the Super Bowl against the Colts. Like, who saw us? Oh, guys, here's a little trickery coming. We're going to run an onside kick the second half to start the Super Bowl.
Right.
Little NFL ranting for us here on a.
And how about one rule they still haven't talked about? The fumble in your own end zone, when it goes out of bounds, it results in a touchback for the other team.
Touchback. Yeah, that wasn't a touchdown.
That is the most ridiculous rule that I think is in the NFL right now, and they won't talk about it. It makes no sense to me.
Because that is interesting, right? Because if the guy's running on the sideline, he kicks it out, it's where the ball goes out of bounds. What would be the ruling when you fumble it out of bounds in the end zone? What should it be? It's not a touchdown.
No, absolutely not. No. Spot the ball where it was fumbled because the other team did not recover it. You know what I mean? Or I don't have an answer for that. I don't know. I just think the other team should not be awarded the ball because the ball crossed the goal line and then went out of bounds. There have been so many games decided like that where a team is driving down the field and
gets punched out.
Gets punched out, gets kicked in the end zone, goes out of bounds, and
they're reaching over the pylon and the ball fumbles out. Happens.
I don't know. I mean, it's a weird one because if you're gonna rule it at, we're gonna switch up all the rules, and they really do for the fumble out of the end zone, right? Everywhere else, it's where the ball goes out of bounds on the sideline. That's where the ball is. Right. But then it's the end zone. It's again, you can't give them a touchdown because that would be keeping the rule going.
Right.
Because then you have guys just throwing the ball into the end zone, right from the 7. Like, oh, look at this, it's a touchdown. Like it's rugby or some crap. And just like toss it forward. I don't know what. Maybe they thought they did that, thinking teams would kind of pull that kind of crap. I'm going down, but I'm going to fake fumble it. Hopefully, my guy recovers it for a touchdown. That's why you know what? Now you lose the ball totally. I wonder how that came about. Like.
See, we need Chip here. He would know.
Was it Chip would know? Yeah, it could have been.
With his little leather hat on from 1937.
Does it go back to I think it was Dave Casper? It was called the Holy Roller, where He fumbled the ball,
Cowboys?
kept kicking it.
He
Chargers.
was a Raiders cat, right?
Raiders.
tight end?
I think it was a Raiders-Chargers game, yeah, where he kept kicking the ball, going forward, and then recovered it in the end zone for a touchdown. So I think it has something to do with that. It's just a guess. I don't know. But I remember that they changed the rule. You can't, advance the ball by not having possession if you fumble it. So that might have something to do with it.
That one definitely got to get looked at. I definitely hate the onside kick rule. I know people get annoyed at, and we're 15 minutes on the NFL. We're going to spend like 5 minutes on the ground. I know people get annoyed at the pass interference, spot fouls. Do you think they should be more college football 15-yarders?
Are they automatic? Are they automatic 15 yards in college?
College is 15 yards, yeah.
Automatic, no matter where.
15 yards.
Okay. Yeah, I do agree with that. Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one. Like,
I feel that I don't know. Maybe just because I'm a Cowboy fan. Whenever I see the Dallas defense come in, it's 3rd and 27. The other team chucks it downfield. Dallas mauls a guy on the sideline, automatic first down, and the team's on the 17-yard line. Like, it always seems to go against me. Like, there's some, it's like some ridiculous. I don't understand. If your team's in a 3rd and whatever, 3rd and more than 4, I'm running 2 guys down one side. I'm throwing over there. You got a 50-50 shot of picking up 35 yards on a pass interference call.
Okay, I see your point. I was thinking spot foul inside of 15 yards. So if you are interfered with within
15, okay.
Within like 10 yards, should it be 15 yards or should that be a spot foul? I think it should be 15 yards. Whereas your point, if it's a 50-yard pass interference, he gets 50 yards. I don't agree with that. It should be 15 yards. I see your point. Right. I was looking at the reverse of it. Yes. Yeah.
It's one thing, pass interference. I mean, you sometimes see him on a slant. Okay, whatever, that's fine. But then you see like the huge gains are just ridiculous. And I've been on situations where that's benefited me cover a game or something, or get an over, or Probably. What do you think about the pass interference? Although wasn't even talked about.
Yeah, I'd like to see it reviewable, honestly, where the coaches could challenge a pass interference call. But I kind of like the spot foul because if a guy is about to catch an easy completion and he gets tackled from behind, that's going to cost him 35 yards or so, and you're only going to get 15. I like the way it is in the NFL. I would stick with
if it's a clearly blatant one like that where he's wide open and he's going to go for it, I get it. But I'm talking about some nonsense where they just chuck it up and there's 4 guys over there and it's like, oh, hey, look at this. He hit his, and they talk about the replay. They slow it down to nanoseconds. Like, yeah, of course. Like, oh, look at that. He was there a whole second ahead of time. Yeah, but you're watching that with your naked eye. That's a good play. But they want to micromanage this stuff to tenths of a second. You can't do that. I don't know. NFL. We're already ranting about NFL. We haven't seen it. We haven't even lost a bet yet by half a point, and we're already complaining. People were complaining about the crown. Game's off the board. It's not sanctioned. We got to work out the red tape. Apparently, they're back on the board now. So we'll talk some crown shortly here. If you stuck around this long, thank you. We appreciate it. I go to your channel, hit the like button if you stuck around for 15 minutes talking about NFL rule changes. They just want to destroy the game and make it – I don't know what they're trying to do with it. But let's talk some Crown basketball here. We got 2 games tonight. The Crown Final Four here on a Wednesday. I got my little squad here. I said the other day, Boise in a rout. I like Boise again here against a Butler. It's a 6.5. It opened a 4. Comes right up, 6.5, 155. I thought Boise was going to be the team to beat in this puppy. They looked pretty good in their first game. I think they get it done again here in big fashion. Blowout, Boise, covering the spread. Brian, what do you think about this game?
I think this is going to be familiar with yesterday's Cincinnati win over DePaul here. I just Boise State could easily have been in the big dance. Very talented team, often overlooked. You got Butler, one of those Big East teams. It just isn't very good. If you look at who they've played over the last 10 games or so. I think Boise's defense is where it counts in the second half, and they end up winning by double digits. I'll take the Broncos.
You're getting a Boise defense, clear edge, and then you got a team that's shooting pretty darn well too. Like maybe you're worried about them, like, they're a little rusty, haven't played in a bit. Yeah, it did not matter. They put up an 80 spot there, and their opening round or whatever it's called here. Matty Fargo, you make it a trifecta on Boise here or what?
Yeah, I mean, I'm passing both games personally, but as an opinion, yeah, Boise I think is the play. I think it's a little bit of an overlay based on their 30-point win over G-Dub 2 days ago. But, Butler barely got by a Utah team that was without a bunch of players, and it was a kind of a late scratch for the Bulldogs. Their leading scorer, what's his name, Jamal Telford. He was scratched mid-afternoon of game day. So that was part of the reason Butler, didn't pull away when they did. And they won the final seconds of the game. So, they're shorthanded. Boise's out, to prove something, I think. They showed it the other day with that 30-point win, like I mentioned. So, yeah, if you're going to play it, lay it. I do agree with you.
There you go. We're going to make that an official play here, Boise, because I love them. I got them on the site, so you got that. You'll get a freebie out of me here. I didn't even put a package up because I wasn't sure people complaining about getting it, but I like Boise today. I bet them. I got a 6.5 and a 7 on this game, so I think they're going to win by 15 plus. I think it's another blowout for Boise. Your second game here in this little matchup here, we got Georgetown and Nebraska. Nebraska, 8.5-point faves. I mean, a 154 total. Nebraska, what a comeback for Nebraska the other night. Like, I thought I had it over, and I thought it was like dead in the water with my total. I'm like, listen, Nebraska. This is terrible. And then they score 56 points or whatever in the second half. End up with a miracle cover. Let's be honest. You got to cover. I'm sure you're right. Hey, never in doubt, easy win. That was probably one that should not have got there, Nebraska Packers. Georgetown, a little point spread chicanery there before the game. Favorites, dogs, guys in, guys out. But like you said here, Brian, Georgetown, this is another kind of a Butler kind of spot. Although I do like the coach, but is this another the Paul Butler sighting here? Because I thought Nebraska was going to be good this year. Although I've been thinking about that team's going to get good as they got older. They've yet to really put anything together. Maybe this is the year to get to the crown title game and do something. Do you want to lay 8.5 here? Because I really don't want to lay 8.5 with them. But
I couldn't get the premium picks on either one of these two games, but I think this is similar to the Boise State game that we talked about, Butler, in the last one. I think Nebraska is just a lot more talented than this Big East Georgetown team, who has the edge in coaching. I like the coach of the Hoyas, but Nebraska really crapped the bed going down the stretch of the Big Ten schedule and cost themselves a tournament bid. But I just think this number tells you what you need to know, being as high as it is at 8.5. I think Nebraska gets it done by 10 here also. So I'm going to take the favorites in both games.
8.5 in Vegas. What is this? What is this game if it's played in Big Ten country? If this is played in Nebraska,
12.5 or so.
Right. I mean, that's 12.5. And oh my goodness. All right, nice. Nebraska. Matt Fargo, what do you think about this matchup?
Yeah, so this is another game on Monday where Georgetown, right before tip-off, this one was, where they declared 4 of their starters are out. They went 6 deep in that game where 2 guys played 40 minutes, another guy played 36, I think, and fourth player played 35. So the leading scorer PB was out, Epps was out. They're not confirmed to be out for this game. It was called an undisclosed health issue, which seems a little fishy. Whatever that means, food poisoning, who knows what it could be, or if that's even or they were hungover. Exactly. So it hasn't been confirmed. I've been looking all day. It hasn't been confirmed yet that they're out again. The line is telling us they are going to be out again. And Mac put up 37, basically carried the team in that win on Monday. And I don't know if he can do it again. I just don't think they have the players. As I said, they only went 6 deep, basically a 5-man rotation for the most part. And Nebraska, down the stretch, I think they lost 5 in a row coming into the tournament. So they weren't playing well, but I think it's a smash spot for Nebraska if Georgetown is down all those players once again. But if you're going to bet it, I'd wait. This is a late game. I think it's a 9:30 Eastern start, so I would wait. I don't think the line's going to go up until any more information comes in. But if you do want to bet Nebraska, just to be safe, I would wait to make sure those guys are officially ruled out.
There you go from Matt Fargo. Folks, we're kind of brushing on these little tournament games. Well, we have one official one. We're going to come in an official play. I'm making an official play. We're all agreed on Boise minus 6.5. Now, yesterday I said let's take North Texas. It did not work out well for me. These guys weren't down on it, but I said, you know what, we're making it for a show pick for myself. So did not get there. So we had a loss there. And these are just little free picks we're doing. If you want our premium plays, our best bets, whether it be in the Crown, NBA, college hoops, we do have the Final Four. That is all at gamblersworld.net. 3 7:30 packages are guaranteed. Or, we credit you back over that time. Baseball's in full swing. NBA playoffs starting in, just about 2 weeks there as we wind out the regular season. And that NBA, I call it like no betting allowed a lot. It's like the National Blowout Association, these games. This is, that's another rant we can go on here. Real fast, so before we wrap this up, we do have the Final Four, and I got you guys Tuesday, Wednesday here. Any thoughts on the Final Four? You guys got picks up? If you do, you don't have to comment on the game you like or whatever, but any thoughts on something you haven't bet or what you're looking at in either of these games? Matt Fargo.
I have nothing up yet. I'm still looking at some matchup stuff. Are we going to see the favorites win again? I don't know. Right now I lean to both underdogs, just because I don't see with Houston's defense. I don't see them, getting blown out or losing by more than 2 possessions. Although Duke has looked fantastic, I don't know if they're beatable right now. They look so good. Florida Auburn. I think that game's a toss-up right now. Florida coming back over Texas Tech down like 9 points with like 3 minutes left, whatever it was. I'm looking to wait for the injury status for what's his name, Broom, for the Tigers after he hurt his elbow late in that game over the weekend. So I want to make sure his statuses are to make a side on that one. So right now, nothing confirmed. Still toss up for both. I'm looking forward to 2 great games. We haven't seen much this whole tournament, and I'm looking forward to this weekend. Hopefully, we'll get something worth watching.
Brian, as Matt said, Duke looks really good. Line's about a 5-ish now, 5.5. Florida, 2.5 point favorite over Auburn, which is odd because Auburn, again, the number 1 seed in the tournament, now an underdog. They did lose to Florida during the regular season, but you got any action on these guys yet, or?
I got no premium picks up yet, but I'm most likely going to take the Houston Cougars plus the points. I think I'm getting a nice bargain here. I think they're maybe the best coached team in college basketball. Awesome defense. They've been there before. Duke is always a team that gets a lot of betting action. So I think anything over 3.5 here, we're getting a good deal. So I think I'd lock in on the Cougars. I
agree with the Houston team. Kind of a veteran team. I know you got the young, flag player of the year, however, draft pick, blah, blah, blah. But the Houston team the last couple of years has always been there. Same guys, quasi-home game.
When's the last time they were a dog like this?
5.5 with a team.
Disrespectful.
We've seen them sometimes come out and play ridiculous defense. I know they're scoring a little more this year, but I'm with you on the points there. You know what? We'll make it a Houston pick here for us. Why not? We're throwing Houston out here. Give the people what they want. It's a bonus play. Houston. What do we got here? Can we get a 5.5 in this game?
I only see 5. I only see 5s out there right now.
Only 5s now?
Yeah.
Yeah. All 5s.
All 5s minus 110.
Yep. I see.
Yeah. If I had to make a pick right now, it would be Houston for sure with that number. Yeah. No doubt about it. Because as Bryce said, Duke gets all the money. They're going to get the money here late. And if you are going to bet Houston, I'd wait. I think Duke will get more money coming in, come Friday, come Saturday. Could push it back up because it was 5.5 for a while. I know
it was 5.5.
So
I see. DK's got a 4.5. Now, I get on these little spots for their, they're pushing their same game parlays and all this bad beat refund nonsense, this and that. And their lines, although for football, I can tell you they leave their season long stuff up and they don't really adjust them that often. so you can kind of get ahead of their lines often and pick them off. Their college basketball lines are pretty sharp, believe it or not, folks. Look at it as like, you went off short for sharp. They're always a step ahead. So I see a 4.5 there, and there's one 5.5 at MGM. Actually got a 5.5. It shows you how that is. You want to pick off the bad numbers. That's the MGM. I don't know. I say take the 5 there. The Duke. I'm just worried. Like, is it going to come down that because everyone's going to think of Houston, the sharper pro kind of side of it will be on the dog in that one, I think. That's a little bonus play for you there from us here at the Winner Circle Sports Betting Podcast. We talked some Crown basketball. Boise is the official show pick. The guys agreed with me, and I told you I already got them. I got them on the site, and I had a pretty good basketball year. I think I had like 300 and something wins, a whole lot of wins in my pocket. So 400 wins, I don't even know. 407 wins, I think I have on one side. Good year college basketball. Boise official show pick. There you go. Got to get back that North Texas. And a bonus Final Four from you from the boys here today. Houston, we're dogging it up. The Cougars to get it done. And that's a wrap for a Wednesday. Appreciate you sticking around, folks, for the NFL talk. Let me know what you think about the tush push. And try to keep it a little classy. I know we got a lot of class. It's all low, but don't go off the rails with your tush pushing. I don't need some crazy comments there about pushing tushes. All right. For Matt and myself, we're out of here. Happy Wednesday. See you tomorrow with Doug Upstone, Chip Trimbus, NIT Finals. Woo!